Soap Wednesday. I'm Kendra, and today we're gonna make some soap. We're actually gonna be dipping some soap, and we are going to be testing some whites. A couple reasons why. So first off, I've been reading a lot. I think it's a pretty common question that keeps popping up is what can you add to your soap to make it whiter without using titanium dioxide or zinc oxide? And the answer is a little bit complicated. So you can't add white to your soap base. It does matter the base color of your oils, and it matters how much water you use. So your water content's important. So what we're going to do is a real quick little test of some whites with my base go-to vegan palm-free awesomeness recipe that I love and that you see me soaping with all the time, with a 1-to-1 water to sodium hydroxide lye solution. Then we're going to do the exact same thing, but we're adding additional water for a high water content. Then we're adding some salt water, because salt will make things a little whiter. Then we're going to try it with some milk, because that, even though it's white, doesn't make things white. And we're going to also do a sixth one with, actually it's the fifth one, with adding kaolin clay. Because a lot of soapers think that adding clay makes your soap whiter. Not really. And then we're going to do the final super white soap, which is 100% coconut oil, because that's as white as it gets as far as the whole vegan plant base goes. Tallow, if you're into animal fats, also makes a super creamy white soap. So let me flip you over here and show you what I've got set up and kind of clear some stuff out of the way too so we can start making some soap. These are the soaps we're going to dip. So we're going to be making all the white soap, but the reason why I wanted to make white soap, which was like part 2 of this inspiration, is I have these all various colored bars. These are the overpour bars from the last time we did some dipped soaps. And so these are the overpour butterflies. I thought, well, I need to put these on these, but what color? And I contemplated the color. I'm like, oh, white, white on white and white. So we're gonna do like a little multicolored white pour dip. It's gonna be awesome. And then these was the soap that I poured when I did the demo on how to use the soap mold capacity worksheets. This lovely light pink is from a madder root infusion, and this and all of these wonderful oranges and reds and whatnot are from the Blush and Roses masterclass. So we'll put some white on top and glue that down with the white. And then I thought these would look nice. I pulled a couple of the overpour butterflies from the Always Indigo Masterclass Extension series where we did infused indigo. And these are some of the lighter overpours we had from that. So I have just enough to do like 10 more dip soaps, so that'll be fun. And here we're gonna put all of the extra soap that I have, because, you know, can you end up with some more extra soap too? But then next week, we're going to grate that all up and do some confetti soap with it. So that should be pretty fun. That's all our overpours, so our extra soap. This is the setup for our actual testing. This is our serious testing tray. This is the super fun playtime tray. All right, so what I have set up here is, and I've labeled my mold. This is that we'll pour the base in here. So the go-to vegan palm-free recipe, which is already measured out in all of these. This one will have 100% coconut oil. This one will have extra water. I've already measured the extra water. This is some salt water. Here's the milk. And here is the kaolin clay, which I've already slurried up in there. And of course, this is my 1-to-1 sodium hydroxide solution. I'm just popping this in the microwave for like 30 seconds, that coconut oil one. Oh, so much better. Nice liquidy coconut oil. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I've got these all measured out so that I have to add 30 grams of my sodium hydroxide solution to each one, and then we can just give it a burst with the stick blender, and get all the seriousness taken care of, and then get right onto the fun stuff. So let me just do that. This is the coconut oil soap. Now we'll do our base. Remember, all the rest of my containers here are the same. So I'm just going to blend them up one at a time, adding additives as we go. With the olive oil, I mean, you can see how yellow it is. It does lighten up a lot once it has saponified, but it also lightens up as it cures. Depending on how yellow your olive oil is, your base soap may or may not actually be white. Mine is definitely a bit creamy. This one's going to be our high water content, so there's the extra water. The high water content, if any of you have ever looked at the Ghost Swirl, Auntie Clara did that up on her site. The high water content soap, that's going to go through a gel phase at a lower temperature than a low water soap would. So that's why it will actually end up darker. All right, this one's going to be the clay. Actually, no, this one's going to be the salt water. Just trying to keep my stick blender. It's just some salt water in there. Trying to keep my stick blender uncontaminated as possible without cleaning it between each one. Let's add the milk. When you're making milk soaps, yes, you can just add your milk to your oils. That's how I always do it, versus risking scorching it by trying to dissolve the sodium hydroxide in it. I like to always do my sodium hydroxide dissolved in water. So a 1-to-1 sodium hydroxide solution I consider as an additive in and of itself, or an essential ingredient in and of itself. You can already see somewhat of a color variance among them. Just sitting here in the mold wet. They will definitely all be different colors when we unmold them. And here's our clay. Here we go. All right. All done there. I am going to take these precious little guys and put them over here, out of our way, just on the table over there. Okay, now on to the dipping fun. This is just an extra overflow. I'm going to end up pouring any leftover into there after we dip. This is just my cafeteria tray, and I have some freezer paper, shiny side up. Let's see what the consistency of our soaps are.
All right, soapy friends, I did skip a little bit and speed up a little bit here. You can see how I'm dipping these soaps a little more detail in last week's soap dipping tutorial, and I'll link that for you. These soap batters, all these individual whites, were a little bit thin, so there's a lot of rambling, a lot of stick blending, a lot of thickening up. And then as I was dipping them, kind of got, well, maybe it's not thick enough, and I'm just having a lot of fun all along the way. And I do end up kind of putting them all on the tray and then scooping more soap on top of them. This was so much fun to do. It was super relaxing, chill, fun, soapy time with all my soapy friends, with, yeah, a lot of rambling, but oh my gosh, so much fun. And we'll take a look at the final soaps in just a minute here too. But I think a good takeaway for you is when you're dipping soaps, make sure your batter is definitely at a medium or thicker trace if you want to get the soap, the new soap, to sit well on top of the bar of soap that you are dipping. Definitely had much better consistency in the dipping the first time around. So I'll just link that video to you, and we'll finish this high-speed scrub back to some more interesting info from the live.
Look what we did. I think these are going to be amazing. I'm really excited about our dipped drippy soaps. You can kind of see some of the drippy going down the side. Yeah, these are going to be awesome. And I'm just going to clean these out into here in any old way. It does not matter. We are going to shred this up next week. And make some confetti soap. And then I'll pull this over again for you. We have the base, the coconut. We have high water, we have salt, we have milk, we have clay. So we did last week, we talked about white soap and white natural soap. And a super common question is, what can I add to my soap to make it white if I want to keep it natural? Because titanium dioxide, while is naturally occurring, the stuff you use in your soap that's cosmetic grade is not naturally occurring. It's synthesized in a lab to make it safe. So there's a good reason for that, but it's technically not natural. Or there's zinc oxide, and you can go look all that stuff up and decide what you think is natural and not natural as far as that goes. I don't use zinc oxide or titanium dioxide to make whites in my soap. I'm okay with not a perfect white soap. However, if I do really, really want, oh my gosh, white, this is what I do. See that? Look how white that is. That's the 100% coconut oil soap that we did. Technically, it's 120%, meaning it's 20% super fat. So it is a coconut oil soap, fully saponified. Then you add an extra 20% oils to bring your super fat up to 120%. Wrote on the bottom of all these. This, huge difference, right? This is my base. This will lighten itself up in a few weeks. It is fairly yellow. That is from the olive oil and sunflower seed oil, mostly the olive oil. My base white soap color changes as with each new batch of olive oil because the color is based on that olive oil. So, I mean, I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. I don't care if my soap's not, oh my gosh, perfectly white. And as you can see, and as you've seen on all of the videos, we get great colors. See, look at that wonderful rhubarb. Look at that wonderful indigo. This is some annatto in there. Great colors, and it's not, I mean, it's kind of yellow, but it's totally okay. So then you get soapers that are soaping with milk, and they're wondering, well, my milk soap comes out really, really tan and really dark. We added milk to the base. This one plus milk. They look pretty similar. You know why they look similar? Because we did not gel these. The milk soap is a bit darker. It's a little bit more tan, whereas this is more yellow. But look at all the ash we got on the bottom. This was face up. That's why I wrote milk. There wasn't any ash on the base. And that deals with water content. And now we've talked a lot about that before, and I won't talk too much about water content now because we'd be here for hours and hours. Super fun. But soda ash, water content, milk has extra water. These have the same amount as sodium hydroxide, 1-to-1 sodium hydroxide solution. This had milk, which had extra water. Therefore, we got some soda ash. And you can even see here, I'm going to go ahead and shave a big chunk out so we can get kind of on the inside where, you know, it started to gel. If you gel your soaps and if you work with milk soaps, you probably do gel your soaps because a loaf of soap is going to be darker than these small little cavity molds that we poured, just simply because of the mass generating more heat. All right, so there's our milk soap versus our base soap. And the next one we did was salt. I told you could lighten things up with salt, right? This one is pretty fascinating because see how much whiter and brighter it is than the milk soap? Well, this does have extra water in it. I diluted that salt in water and then added it to the base. So these two are identical, except this one has some salt water added to it. It's lighter and brighter. Yes, there is some ash, but as you can see, I did slice that one open for you. It's still nice and bright and white on the inside too. But I know we're getting some glare from all this reflective surfaces in here. When I put these up on YouTube, I'll include some photos in the light box so you can see their exact colors. So adding salt does whiten your soap. This is our high water content. Now, this one upset me because I wanted you to see how the high water content really does make a darker soap. But we got so much soda ash on it. It looks a lot lighter, but really that's the soda ash. So I'm going to go all the way inside to cut, and you can see there is so much water in here and not gelling it. We ashed all the way through. Gosh, my voice is so squeaky. So a better trial on this would definitely be to do full loaf molds, or I could have insulated these to get that gel for you all. And then finally we have the clay soap. So this is the kaolin clay. Lot of soapers new to natural will think you can add white kaolin clay to your soap to get white. No, but they're pretty much identical. This is the base, this is the clay. You know, not a lot going on in difference. Interesting of note though, the clay one has more water than this one, but notice how it didn't ash. I wasn't expecting that. So I kind of want to do a whole series on high water content and clays and other goodies to dive a little more into soda ash. But this bar here is identical to this high water content bar that has ash all over it. The only difference is this one has clay in it. Isn't that cool? So it looks like the clay kind of helped prevent some soda ash. Whoa, that could be a side effect bonus discovery for us there. All right, and then real quick, because, you know, we can't stop. These are all the drippy soaps. Remember, I was trying to dip them, and it was just a little too runny, and I got a little impatient, and then I just started glopping it on because it was so much fun. And look at all of the different colors of white we got in there. Oh, it's super awesome. I am in love with all of these. Look at this one. Look at all the really groovy ash we got here. I am in love with these. Again, I'll put some color corrected light box photos up for you. I know the reflection in here is kind of crazy, but you know, whatever. It's okay. I think this one might be my favorite. Look at that. Oh my gosh, so much fun. And we still get some of the groovy colors on the bottom from the last batch. So much fun. So this was a great experiment for us. Really excited about the clay, minimizing some ash and high water content. Bonus discovery.
Hi Soapy friends, here's a close-up corrected lightbox photo for you. That coconut oil soap on the top left, super hard to photograph because yes, it really is that glaringly white. Next to that middle top row is the high water content with all of its soda ash. Then we have the salt bar, which does have high water, not as much ash, nice firm salted bar. Love that one as well. And then on the bottom row, we have the milk soap, the clay soap, and the base oil soap. And as you can see here, that clay soap and the base soap really are pretty much the same color, but that clay soap did not get any soda ash, even though it did have the higher water content. So cool. And then here we have a photo of all of the kind of dip and drip soaps that we did. Absolutely love all of these. This was so much fun. I particularly love and enjoy the soda ash appearance on these. It gives it such a unique, fun look to it. It's one instance when soda ash can definitely be a fun design element. If you hop over to soapyfriends.com, search the blog for soda ash, you'll see a full article all about soda ash on your soap, how to prevent it, and of course, maybe force it to use it as a design element. All right, that's all I have for you this time, Soapy friends. Talk to you soon and happy soaping.